Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting edition of the GDQ Hotfix. My name is SmoothOperative, and you are watching Treefort, a show where we get together
Oh,
runners with similar interests. And today's topic is Club Disney. We have some exciting runs coming up for you featuring Disney characters from The Lion King, Tarzan, and Toy Story. And right now we have Nicole Goodnight and 8 here to take us to the Pride Lands with the Lion King. So, ladies, if you'd like to introduce yourselves, you can take it away.
Thank you so much, SmoothOperative. Hi, everyone. I'm Nicholegoodnight. I will be running The Lion King on SNES. This is a game that I played as a kid a lot, as I'm sure a lot of people can relate. And I'm just really excited to showcase it off today. And commentating for me is 8.
I am 8. Like Nicole just said, this is The Lion King Any Percent for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The game was released in 1994 and it's based on the movie of the same name, obviously. This run is actually deceptively difficult in that it's full of pixel-precise jumps, frame-perfect inputs, tricky clips and skips, and that sort of thing, so I'll give it back to Nicole and let her do the countdown.
All right, so we're gonna get this show running, and the timer starts when I hit start. So I'm gonna count down from 3 and then go from there. So here we go. Three, two, one, start.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It starts.
Okay,
This is
so sorry.
go for it.
Here she's using the porcupine up here to damage boost and clip up through the platform. She wants to collect this HP bug because it'll give her a permanent health increase for the rest of the game. You can see her HP bar in the top right hand corner. The bar on the left hand side is a roar meter, which is basically irrelevant to the run. When Simba roars, the bar depletes, making subsequent roars less effective. And Nicole will only need to roar a single time for every instance is used in the run, which basically makes the bar useless. And right here, she's going to grab the ledge and skip the cutscene. An interesting fact about this game is that Disney instructed the developers to create a puzzle level that was so difficult that people wouldn't be able to beat it in one rental period from Blockbuster Video. If you don't remember Blockbuster, basically you'd go there to rent physical copies of games and movies for like 24 to 48 hours, then you'd have to go back to the store and either pay them more money to hold on to it longer or return it. Anyway, this is that puzzle level. Many people have told me they got stuck here as a kid, which means Disney's goal was successful.
Also, fun fact about this level, before that first double jump, you can save a frame by doing 2 jumps. This is a frame perfect jump that we didn't get, but again, that's one of the only super frame perfect things in this level. We're gonna try it again coming up here shortly.
Yeah, there's pretty much the same exact frame perfect trick after the next auto scroller right here. So let's see if she gets it.
I'm super lucky that this is a consistent pattern. It never changes because, oh boy, this level gave me so much trouble as a kid, so learning the pattern definitely made life a lot easier.
It's coming up right here in a second.
Ah, that's okay. It's not very easy to get. Honestly, it only happens in about 10% of my runs. I don't think my PB even has that skip.
This level's pretty much over at this point.
That log jump's deceptively hard. You have to time it really well or else you will fall right into the water.
Yeah, you can easily screw up those jumps across the logs if your timing is even slightly off.
We want to land there, which is good, and poof, this level's almost done. We're actually coming up on my absolute favorite level.
The next level's a lot of fun in the speedrun.
This level is great. This is one of my favorite levels to play on stream because I can kind of just sit back and relax. I'm usually singing Be Prepared while doing this, so it's like a really chill level. It does have some jumps that are pretty hard to get. These buzzards, jumping over them, getting through that cage is pretty difficult. Oh,
This level's basically precise platforming pretty much the whole way through. And there is potentially a clip here. We're not sure if it's a clip or if it's intended. We're trying to figure that out. But we'll stop talking about that because she didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't
So
even go for it. There's a little bug that can happen when you go through the vulture that makes you roll, even if you don't do the roll animation. And if that happens, it'll roll you right off the side. And that is what happened, so. Oh well.
and there's some precise jumps right here.
Right, and we got him. So we're good. We're good. Right there, I jumped, and the reason I did that is there's actually 2 hyenas there that I just killed. Jumping makes them stack, and it makes them a little easier to kill.
This is just an auto scroller. In the SNES version of this auto scroller, there's a pixel you can stand on and nothing will hit you, but said pixel does not exist in the Genesis version.
Yep, in
There's
the
2
Genesis
versions of this game.
version.
Well, 3
Oh
actually, I
yeah.
think.
If you get hit by one wildebeest in the Genesis version, it'll take half your health. If you stand in
Mm-hmm.
this pixel, you can stand there the whole time. You'll get knocked down to 1 health, but you will never die. It's kind of a nice time for like the SNES runners to just kind of relax. Get
Yeah.
some water, rest your hands before the next level, which is an absolute bear. While we have
Mm-hmm.
the time, I'll go over a little bit about the next level. The next level is Simba's Exile. It's often said to be where the run actually begins. There are 2 major clips. One of them is necessary to the run, one of them is not. And it's just, there's a lot of bad things that can happen in this next level. So if I take a death in this next level, that is not too strange.
Yeah, you can actually just get RNG'd by the level. Like a boulder can fall down while you're running from the first boulder and it'll just kill you. You can't escape it.
Yep,
And
it's an
that's a
auto
run
death.
killer.
Kill him.
But if you get hit by a boulder running from the second large boulder, there's like a crevice in the ceiling that you can hop into and you can stay alive.
Sometimes if it hits you late enough.
Yeah.
If it hits you too early, you're still not going to get there. So I'm coming up on the first, oh, this is going to be a death. So that's the RNG boulder that can happen, guys. If that hits you, your run is dead. There is no way to avoid that. Super frustrating when running the game, especially since it's not really under your control at all. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. And that's a case of where it just hit too early in that second run. If it hit later, I would have been able to hop over it, but unfortunately it was not kind.
And she got it. That's a very difficult clip to get consistently. It's
We're
pretty
gonna
easy to miss
try.
it, and you have to throw yourself at it a few times.
Oh!
And right now she's going for another clip, and she got it, but she died.
And I got it, but I didn't think I got it. Wow, guys. All right. Sorry about that.
It's actually insane that she just got the second clip because that's really, really hard to do.
That second clip is insanely difficult. I don't get it on runs. I don't get it in my PBs. I don't get it at all. So that was kind of me just boofing things away because I got a little nervous and didn't think I was going to get it. But that's okay. We're back on track. All right. And that's what can happen with this first clip. So I'm going to get a
Yeah, like I
safety
was saying,
belay.
generally runners throw themselves at it a couple times, and if they don't get it, they'll reset.
Yep, and in this case, I'm actually just not even going to try it a second time. But, you know, just, you got to see the clip, which is pretty cool because it is a very, very hard one.
It's really amazing that you got that in a marathon.
I'm kind of surprised I got that, and I really wish I didn't beef it.
If you ever come back, we'll kill ya!
I'm going to ask for
Okay,
a little
so
bit of, oh, sorry.
what she's gonna do here is go for a ridiculously difficult skip. So I'm going to be quiet and let her do this in a couple seconds because she does not need anything distracting her. It's extremely precise.
Right, this is fine. We're going to go ahead and grab that health bug. This is an intentional death that you can take in order to prevent the death later on in the level. And now the fast waterfall we're gonna do is you go down a little different way. And I'm gonna get quiet for this because this is kind of tough. All right, we got it. That's very,
Nice, nice.
looks easy, very hard.
That was extremely impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, this monkey is deceptively difficult. Like, it looks super easy, right? But this is actually really precise stuff she's doing. Like, she's gonna damage boost here to get him higher up and to make him move faster. Because he would have taken a few seconds to move if she didn't do that.
And landing down here saves you a frame because he doesn't toy with the butterfly that comes by.
Hey, look, Simba's all grown up.
We're an adult now.
There are 4 skips in this level. Nicole will be going for all of them, right?
I'm gonna go for all of them. I'm only gonna try boulder skip once. That is the first time I've ever got that particular ledge skip right there that I just did, like ever
Yeah,
in my life. So
you can skip some ledges if you time your slashes properly.
I didn't even know you could skip that ledge. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, this level is all ledge skips and damage jumps and boosting through things and monkeys and sadness and lag. This particular cheetah is RNG. It could take anywhere between 1 hit and multiple hits to tire out. It can kill you. It has killed me, but we got very good RNG there and it only did it once, so.
And with these skips, she's clipping through the wall after the first cheetah comes out. Otherwise, she'd have to kill 6 cheetahs, then wait for Rafiki to wave the door open, and ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody has time for that. Not Simba, not me, nobody.
And this coming up right here is boulder skip, which saves a few seconds. And it's ridiculous, like most things in this game.
Yeah, I have 1,400 attempts, almost 48 hours played on this game, and I've gotten boulder skip once. So that should give a little hint about how difficult that actually is.
The Genesis second place runner actually lost world record to taking too long on boulder skip.
Oh,
So it's just best to
heartbreaking.
not go for it unless you have it like an insane time.
There you got that
And she
clip.
got it.
That will skip the entire level. It's a very handy clip because if you're anything like me, as a kid, if you manage to get through Can't Wait to Be King and get to this level, it sucked. It sucked so much. There's bats, there's stalactites, there's lava and fire and hyena, or cheetahs. There's a lot going on in this level, and that allows you to entirely skip the whole thing.
Before the skip was found, runners would have to play the entire level out, and this is unequivocally the most challenging level in the game. Right now we're waiting around 50 seconds for this auto-scroller to complete. I actually got stuck here as a kid because I couldn't figure out how to get out of the auto-scroller, so it's very unintuitive.
I got stuck here a lot as a kid just because a bat would just knock me into the lava, or what you had to do is you were on a platform that floated in lava and you had to jump off of it and go through these little, not really mazes, but things where you had to do things, but you had to do it fast enough that you could hop back on the platform. So,
Okay, the game takes a sharp turn here and becomes a beat 'em up. I nicknamed this level Streets of Rage because of that. Do you guys remember in the movie when Simba murdered an endless number of hyenas in cold blood? Yeah, neither do I. She's going for 5 swipes here, which are tricky, and what that means is she will land on the hyena and kill it in what looks like 1 attack, but it's actually 5. And this tactic will be used for the final boss as well.
I'm going to stand here a moment, and this is to allow these to 3-stack. This is very important. All right.
Okay, final boss. Nicole's going to start off doing 2 sets of 5 swipes, and this will trigger Scar to run away. Or just 1 and a few slashes, that's cool too.
Yep. I actually got the animation skip there, which is
Oh,
pretty
did you?
difficult to time. Yeah, not the full one, but the partial animation skip, which is why it only looked like it took 1 slash. That's a trick that is one of the hardest ones I find to get in this game. You can do it on all of them, all the scars here, except for the last one. Like right there, that was it.
Okay, the second phase requires 3 sets of 5 swipes or equivalent damage.
We're getting very lucky with the,
You keep getting the skips.
I know, it's very, this doesn't ever happen in a run. Marathon luck.
This is a very tricky jump right here. And she got it. Wow, okay, great. So now all she has to do is 4 sets of 5 swipes or equivalent
And
damage, and then it's GG's.
Time stops when I input flip, so I'll yell it. Stop. All right, that's the
Time.
game.
All right. 15-22, girl.
Oh
Nice.
man, those deaths killed me.
But still made it under time.
I still beat it under time.
That was honestly impressive. Thank you so much for
Of
showing that off
course.
for us. Do you want to give any shout outs?
Just, a huge shout out to 8 for doing my commentary. I'm super excited that she started running this too. And
Aw.
just, everyone.
Aw.
This community is amazing. Like I was telling you, I did my first SGDQ this year, and just everyone that I met is amazing. So to the entire Games Done Quick community, keep being awesome. You're one of the most welcoming, friendly communities that I've ever had the pleasure of coming in contact with. So keep on being yourselves.
Aw, well, thank you guys so very much. Right now, we are going to be getting set up for our next game, and that will be Random Pink Bunny with Tarzan. So, if you guys will just sit tight for a minute, and we will switch on over to the next game. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Treefort Club Disney. I am SmoothOperative, and joined with me is Random Pink Bunny, going to run Disney's Tarzan. Hi, Bunny.
Hi, guys. Hi, Tippy.
Hey. So tell us a little bit about this run, and whenever you want to count down, you let me know.
So not a lot of people run this game, but most of the leaderboard came from the fact that some of us did a blind race and then just decided to keep doing it.
That's excellent, actually.
So yeah, I'm ready whenever.
Yep, just count me down.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is a fairly straightforward game. I'm going to be holding right most of the time, as you will see. So this game basically, we've played around with it a lot. We found a couple of places where you could go like out of bounds, but nothing has ever amounted to anything really. So it's been primarily a glitchless run. However, last week, right after Tippy asked me to play this again, they discovered a new trick. So I spent Friday learning it to show you guys what it's like. So hopefully that goes well.
Where does that show up in the run about?
It's gonna first show up in the next level, and then later on as well.
Okay, so it's like the same principle, and you're applying it in a couple of different
Yep.
places. Okay,
It's
cool.
related to swinging on vines, so anywhere you're on a vine, you can do it. I'm just gonna do it in the 2 safest places because that's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I also
think you
haven't played this.
mentioned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I think you mentioned that like in the safer places, there's no total chance of falling, but it will like zip you a little bit across the map.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna be just doing it where I won't die if I fall. Also, I haven't played this game in a couple of years, so, if I mess up or forget things, I'll tell you, what's supposed to actually happen,
But
but
she's
hopefully it
been
goes fine.
practicing. It's gonna be fine.
Alright, so coming up is where we will do the vine zip right here, so I'll explain it in a second if I can get it to go. It's kinda tricky. Um Oh, okay. No Tarzan. So clearly I'm not doing it the fastest way, but it really is cool once
Do you
I
need
get
to,
it
like,
going.
build up a certain, like, momentum to get it completed?
You gotta, like, trick the game. It, like, freaks out, essentially. But you have to have Tarzan letting go at the right point, turning, and grabbing the vine again, and the turning is not very good. It also has to do with, when you're letting go of the vine. So I'm trying to time that all perfectly. I'm also mashing the right directional button, but Tarzan doesn't like turn properly. So I don't really know how much of a viable actual strat it is for now, but it
Yeah,
was
you're not
pretty
sure?
fun to play with. I'll I think I'll try it like 2 more times and we can move on, but he's not cooperating with the arrow keys, I guess.
So you are playing, I guess, with the keyboard?
Nope. I'm just really bad at paying attention to what I'm doing. I'll say I'm using controller when I'm using keyboard and mouse. I'm not all there.
It
um,
happens.
but yeah, it would zip me to this point, and it would be really cool. Hopefully, the next place I try it, it will work out better. It worked out great when I was practicing before this run, but I guess I had just have marathon luck.
Marathon luck, you gotta
Yeah.
chalk it up to marathon luck sometimes.
But yeah, you can play this with keyboard, mouse. Originally, I was playing on a 360 controller. Um, Playing this game again, I'm now playing on a SNES controller just because that's what was plugged into my computer at the time, and I couldn't be bothered to switch it.
Well, and
It
you said you guys were doing this as a blind race?
Yeah, quite a while ago.
Like yeah, like a while ago.
And then in 2015, the good old days, and then I noticed that there was a page on speedrun.com, and I was like, "I can probably beat this one dude's time." So I did, and I put it on Twitter, but someone who follows me on Twitter knew of someone else who had done runs of it previously, told him about it, and he was like, "Oh, well, I can beat that, no problem." So then he submitted it, so I had my world record for, like, 3 days, and then a bunch of my other friends just were like, "Oh, this is easy. We can do this too." And yeah, so for I don't know, like 8 months there was just like a whole slew of us doing it.
Fine.
But because there was nothing really interesting to find, I think the interest died off. The other issue that happened too is we all started out playing on Windows 7, which is not a big deal. The problem is the great purge to Windows 10 that everyone underwent.
The
We
Great
started
Purge,
noticing
oh my
that
god.
yeah, we started noticing that we weren't PBing anymore. And like I'm nowhere near first place at all. I have tons of like time save and I was having pretty decent runs, but I was constantly like seconds behind my PB and I was just gaining more and more seconds, but I was having solid runs and it made no sense. And other people are having similar issues. So they finally discovered that the game actually, even though it was made in 98 and runs for whatever the system was at the time, it's run slower on Windows 10 than Windows 7, and we don't know why.
I feel
So
like
I
that's
I
common
gave up
for a lot
then.
of these, like, older games,
Yeah.
actually. It's bizarre.
Um, I think that killed it for a lot of people, and also too just not having any interesting, cool glitches. So,
I still
uh,
think it's cool to watch.
oh yeah.
Look at Tarzan go. I mean,
Um,
come on. He's so fast.
You'll also notice I'm collecting a lot of coins, and that's because when you reach a certain number of coins at the end of the level, you get an extra life. And I'm gonna try to get to the end of the level with like as close to like 11 or 12 lives as I can, just because there's one level in particular that can actually be kind of a run killer. So I'm gonna hoard all the lives I can get.
Yeah. Flux mentioned too that, like, especially when you're playing games in windowed mode, sometimes it can, cause some issues and, Bunny has to play this
Oh.
game in windowed mode.
Yeah, that's a really fun fact, by the way. This game opens up in full screen, but then it rearranges like all your monitors and stuff. But the instant you tab out, it goes to window mode, and then it stays in windowed mode. But the window mode is so tiny that I'm actually playing and looking at the OBS preview screen. And I actually sent Tippy a screenshot of what it looked like, and it's pretty hilarious.
It's quite something, yeah.
That
It's
is my
like,
Tarzan life.
it looks like the Tarzan mood board over there.
So I know we were watching Lion King and that had a stampede level, so I'm bringing that back. This one can actually be kind of annoying though because these gorillas that appear frequently throughout the level, if they hit you, they push Tarzan back, and if Tarzan gets pushed back enough times, the elephants can squish him. And there's not many save points in this level. We actually did find a way to kind of get out of bounds in this level for some reason, but it doesn't really end up working out from what we could tell. So yeah, it's pretty much just a happy little auto-scroller.
And it looks like the elephants can kind of get stuck on some of the geometry.
Really? I'm just looking at, like, right in front of Tarzan. I'm not actually
Yeah.
paying attention to I'm like the driver of the car. I don't see the things as we go by them.
Oh boy, Bunny. I've been in a car with you and it was not like that.
Well, driving at night is my worst thing. Oof.
Can be a little scary. I don't know about scarier than these elephants.
And then you'll see there are map pieces. I am doing everything to not really collect them super much, because if you collect all of them, you get a bonus level, and that's not fast. But as you can see with the letters that spell out Tarzan, you can figure out how far along we are in the level. So that's pretty good for this level, because it's like the never-ending level.
If you do collect them all, it's like a mandatory bonus level. You can't just like quit it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
okay, I
much.
see.
It was really interesting figuring that out, though, because we had friends that were like complaining about the level, and we were like, "What are you talking about?"
It's collecting like all the letters in Tarzan. Yeah. So Tarzan is gonna have to do, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so this is the level where hopefully I can show you what a vine zip looks like. As soon as I heard the word vine zip, I was like, "Is this going to be like Prince of Persia?" There's
boy.
zipping in that.
Good old Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
I'll
I think of
cross
the
my
most
fingers.
random things. So.
No, I can see the relation. There are quite a lot of zips in Prince of Persia Run.
Oh man, this is gonna be one of those days. Oh, come on, Tarzan.
He's like screaming. He's like, "Come on, zip, body."
Oh my god, he won't turn. Why won't you turn?
Come on, Tarzan. Jane's somewhere. She needs your help.
That is actually coming up next. So yes.
So
there we go. Look at that. We can
Did you
actually make it past this branch
Nice.
here. But yeah, so imagine doing that on every vine that you'll ever see Tarzan on. This is the only reason why Tarzan would be an interesting task, is just to see him zipping on every possible thing ever. All right, back to playing the game as I know it instead of trying to be
Thanks for
crazy.
showing that off, though. Honestly, I think it looks really cool. It may not be completely consistent, debunked yet, but
Yeah.
hey, if you guys want to work on it, well, you feel free.
That
New
is for
strats.
like the whoever else is focusing on this game right now. It's definitely not me. So these tree trunk levels are kind of weird because you can't really, in some areas you can see what's coming up next, and other parts you can't. So I kind of always just go slow, because bonking your head on the branches just isn't fast.
And
So.
probably not a good time for Tarzan either.
Yep. So something that I've been neglecting to do, because I haven't played it in so long, but if Tarzan lands hard, he does like this weird like hard landing animation where he stops for a second. Oh no. Please come back here.
Like a stumble, kind of.
Yeah, like he has to catch his balance or something. However, if you throw fruit, then it like cancels it out.
Fruit
Oops.
cancel.
Ha! That is the one part where we don't jump far. Okay. I don't remember this whole run.
So a couple of people have been asking about jumping versus just like running. Would you say that jumping is generally faster?
Um, I'm jumping right now. I don't feel like there's a difference. There might be one, but
It might be a very
it's never come
tiny.
up. It's
a ti-
never come up to bunny hop our way through Tarzan.
I gotcha.
But that is a really good point actually. Could hmm.
Now you're thinking about it. You're like,
Yeah.
should I be
Yeah.
jumping?
But now we have the saber fight, which if you orchestrate it properly, it goes along very easily. You fight him 3 times, and you can, I guess, sort of manipulate him because he's gonna run either away from you or towards you, and it depends on if he's facing you or not. And like, if you move the right way with the right timing and stuff and hit him, you can like kind of force him to go in a certain direction, which works out for us because we can plan it out a bit better. But yeah, so we're just gonna run through this level and look for him.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I did this run once as an impromptu marathon run because they were so far ahead of schedule, and they didn't have backup runs. I don't know. So like for a FPS marathon, I was doing Tarzan,
Oh boy.
and it was like 3 a.m. I literally got up in the middle of the night and I had no commentary because you hold right.
Oh.
Sometimes things happen.
I still think that it even like predominantly glitchless runs can be impressive because like you're still trying to use that like hand-eye coordination to dodge various things in the level so you don't get hit and you have to still
Yeah.
manage your health. So I don't think it's any less impressive than a glitched speed run, like a fully glitched speed run.
Yeah.
People got to give glitchless runs more credit.
There are a lot of glitchless runs that are pretty interesting. I like it's really cool to see what you can do without glitches still. I think Mirror's Edge is a really cool example of one. But for this one I could not commit to it because it just was not the most exciting. But uh
Sometimes I think like people prefer glitchless too because it's like not everybody can wrap their head around like a glitched
oh
run.
yeah.
So they like to see it in a way that it seems more doable like for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Glitched runs can be very intimidating to learn, especially if it's like your first speed run.
For sure. This one is interesting because you got to learn pathing. You do have to learn a little bit on how to like to do the saber tooth fight, for instance, managing health. It has a little bit of good stuff that you can use for starting out, for sure. And like this is like definitely optimization is a key thing. So I feel like that's kind of a good practice to have as well. Um,
Definitely.
Speaking of good game, we're in the Jane level, and she doesn't handle well at all. I might die in this one gap because a monkey might push her. Uh,
Oh my.
yeah.
Oh man, Jane
Oh,
is losing it.
okay, we got this. We got this. Okay. Sometimes you can die, sometimes you don't. But I just spam jump here because she won't trip over anything.
Come on, Jane.
All right. So here we have Jane's umbrella to get rid of some annoying monkeys that are in our way. You'll notice I'm spamming because unlike jumping, we thought maybe that went faster than just regular holding it out because it just feels like it's so much slower. It's probably not any faster, but it makes me feel like it's faster. So
These monkeys are super fast. Jeez.
yeah, I think they're from The Lion King.
They decided to
They're
come
pretty hardcore.
over. They
Yeah.
couldn't catch Nicole, so they're here trying to catch Bunny.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully. Oh, there's a
This
branch there.
this umbrella action is cracking me up right now.
Someone entered my stream during this level on Friday and was like, "What is this noise?" And I'm like, wait 5 minutes. It will
It's
stop
like
soon.
super speed umbrella.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the part where I'm obligated to just mention one of the things we found in Tarzan, which is the only thing for a long time, was in this level. If you at one particular, there's like a box next to another box, and if you jump at it at the right angle and stuff, you can clip out of bounds, fall below the level, and the game looks at your Y value and thinks that you're climbing the pole at the end and just ends up giving you the end of the level in
How
like
funny.
super fast speed. I've only gotten it twice in practice and I've never gotten it in a run. I will attempt it just to show you guys where it is, but I have no hopes. I had hopes for the vine zip, but not for this. So yeah, I'll just let you guys know where that is. I know the world record holder can do it fairly well. So I suppose it is possible. It's just not possible for bunnies.
Aw.
It's okay. I was like, no, this is a little too much. If you miss that up like twice, if you miss it twice, you like don't save time anymore. So it's gonna be right around here. So I jump at this and don't land on it. Hang on. You want to like just barely touch the box here, but I didn't get it and I'm not going to very much keep trying. So we're just going to climb the pole and it will be great.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's pretty funny to see, but if I thought I could do it, I would try it more.
And a little umbrella is gonna be right there at the top waiting.
Yep.
I think that the umbrella has a mind of its own.
It's like basically Jane's umbrella, so I don't know if she just leaves it everywhere and they just keep finding it or something.
Jane is actually Mary Poppins somehow.
Oh, bad enemy RNG. Oh well. All right. So yeah, I'm just basically going to be running through the rest of the levels and trying to collect stuff for lives.
Yeah,
Coins.
yeah.
That's what it
Someone
is.
was asking about the coins, and I think you did mention that the
Yep.
more coins you have, the more lives you can obtain.
If I'm correct, if you have over 100 coins at the end of the level, it gets converted into a life. So you can say I have 10. I'm hoping to have at least 11 by the time I get to the potentially crazy level. Just because, like, what happens is if you kill a bad guy and then you die, he still stays dead. So you can, like, kind of death kill your way through the level.
Oh my
So
goodness.
if it gets to that point, I need those lives. In fact, also too, this particular level that we're entering is pretty much like all the other ones. It's not anything crazy, but at the end, there's this one part where I don't really know how it works, but you can die very easily by falling through a hole.
Goodness.
And yeah, so we need extra lives just in case Tarzan falls to his death randomly. That's exciting.
I hope he doesn't fall to his death.
So you could see there perhaps that Tarzan made the sound like he was gonna throw a fruit as I was landing, and I didn't stop moving, because I actually did it properly and I remembered to do it.
The fruit cancel.
Yeah, I guess I don't even know if we call it anything. We're such a laid back, crazy community.
I'm just calling it that now because of
Yeah.
flare cancel.
Oh, I was thinking of fall damage cancel. We've been playing too much Tomb Raider Legend.
Yeah, we have been playing too much.
That's okay. On Friday, I'm going to start Anniversary so that I can get mad at Lara in different ways.
Oh, very best of luck to you with that one.
Thanks. So this area that I'm in right now is dangerous because Tarzan is swinging on vines over nothing. And these particular vines, for some reason, Tarzan doesn't like to grab. So you'll see right here, we're approaching a a save point, which is the butterflies or checkpoint, because these next two sections are terrible. Sometimes Tarzan doesn't grab them multiple times in a row. Luckily for us, it went fine, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, the game can get pretty trolly, I guess. Oh, perfect. Oh. And there are sometimes dumb birds that bother you, I guess.
Oh, man.
So yeah, this is also on N64 and PlayStation 1. I do own it on PlayStation 1, but when you have it on PC and you're not also playing it regularly, there's not much for worry. Up and there's the hole that Tarzan just fell into.
Tarzan, please.
There we go.
So sometimes when you step on that, you have no control and it'll just like fall through.
Every time Tarzan steps on it, it like breaks a little bit, and so we just try to time our jumps properly.
Okay, I
But
see.
it still just feels very random.
That's better.
Luckily, I don't have to worry about that much. So now we're on a boat. I presume this is part of the movie. I don't remember this part of the movie.
I don't know.
It doesn't have a Phil Collins song with it, so I don't remember it.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack is a bit not present for the for this.
Yeah, I guess I should have mentioned that at the beginning. There's no soundtrack because it's tied to the CD, and I don't have the CD. Spoilers, but the world record holder went out and actually found and bought the CD, and it does not. It doesn't play music half the time, so it doesn't matter.
Kind of hit or miss, yeah.
Yeah, but it's fine. We have Tippy to sing to us. Your turn. Perfect.
I don't know the words of the
From
song.
this day on, now and forevermore.
Sang. I have only seen Tarzan maybe twice.
It's I've seen Tarzan like I don't know a bunch of times like as a kid, but the soundtrack is worth listening to like every day. Okay.
Sorry again to expose you guys to my horrible singing.
So this is kind of the crazy level of doom. It's our second to last level. I don't even know where to begin with this. I just want to have Tarzan have all his health if I can when I get to the fighting parts. So I'm just like trying to run past everything. I also ride an elephant in this level, and it's kind of annoying because Tarzan has to duck his head to dodge branches, which he only holds his head down for like a short period of time, even if you're still holding down. So if you time it wrong, he'll hit his head on the branch and then you have to start all over again. This is why I don't PB. I bonk my head on the branches. It's really weird.
The
Also,
timing for it looks really tight.
Yeah. If I knock down all of the garbage, then I would get a life, but I don't. So here I'm trying to stand in the right spot so that the guy on the right side doesn't see me, because if both of them are attacking me is no good. But we're going to try to kill this guy before he kills me, which didn't work out. That's fine. That's why we have all those lives. Crap, he's hitting me. All right.
Man, they're not playing around with these girls.
If you could die, that would be great. There we go. So now, before I fight this guy, I'm going to grab this banana. And then we want to stand far enough away from this guy so that, oh man. So that he doesn't he doesn't start poking me with a knife. Because that does more damage to Tarzan. Here we go. We want to basically stun lock them like that. Except,
okay.
I picked up this game like a week ago, so I don't remember everything.
You got like a little bit of a Rutland-esque situation. I see.
Yeah.
Funny, I'm seeing a pattern with your speed runs now.
Oh man, the secret is out. No matter the variety, I just have this issue. All right, can I? There we go. All right, and then we're just gonna smack this guy a little bit. He took his sword out, but that doesn't matter. Okay. And again, once I kill all these dudes, they won't spawn back, so we can again death our way through this. But
And what's the main, like, the villain in this game? His name's, like, Clayton or
Clayton,
Clayton,
yeah,
okay, yeah, so these are all of
Clayton,
his kinda cronies, I guess.
yeah. Oh, please. He's just standing there being a dweeb in the background. It's fine. All right. All
Trying to
right.
order everybody around.
Yeah, I guess they poof in I don't know. All right, so this is the last level. This is the only level where we want the knife, and it's precisely for that reason. Those cat things jump at us, but if we swing the knife, we can either kill them or jump over them. Like I don't know. They jump lower or something, or you can just kill them. So it's
And
not
does it, like,
a big
stop
deal.
immediately if Clayton catches you?
You have to start the level over again.
Over yeah, okay.
Yeah, game
Run,
is very
Tarzan.
unforgiving. But yeah, this is, believe it or not just a continuing circle of running forever. I promise.
I guess it kinda does look that way, huh?
I know,
It
right?
must
When
be, like, a
I
little unsettling when you're playing through this casually, you're like, "Does this
yeah
end ever?"
yeah.
Or
All right, so I think we have to hit Clayton like 3 times or something. I don't know. I just go until he's done, to be honest. So time will be coming up eventually. That was
Right.
2 hits. I think I have to hit him 4 times. Maybe. Yeah, okay, so one more hit and then we'll be good. And time. Okay.
Alright.
Yay!
Yay, that's Tarzan. See ya, Clayton.
I'm good enough to try the medium level. Exciting. But yeah, so that's Tarzan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bunny, for, taking the time to kind of, like, relearn Tarzan, revisit it for
Dig
us,
this out of the grave,
dig
yeah.
it out of the grave. I think it's a cool game, but do you wanna
Yeah.
give any shout outs or anything like that?
Shout outs to Cute Nice, who is the world record holder, and even though he wasn't the one who found the vine zip, he was the one who told me about it and gave me some tips so that I could try to show it off for you guys today.
Well, and we did get
Yeah.
to see it, so that was really cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I did manage to pull it off. So I got that out of it. But thank you so much for having me,
No
Tippy.
problem. Take it easy, Benny. Uh,
Yep.
well, guys, we have one more run coming up for you. It is going to be Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, and we are going to get our runner Steb all set up for that. And again, thank you so much to all of our wonderful subscribers for making this hot fix content possible. We will be back in just a moment with the next run.
All right.
Welcome back to Club Disney, our episode of Treefort here. And right now we have Stebmcdreb coming at you with Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. So tell us a little bit about this run, Steb.
This run is well, basically, I guess to explain the source material, you'll know who Buzz Lightyear is, and basically they made a cartoon that was kind of like the in-universe, I guess, cartoon that the Buzz Lightyear toy would have come from in Toy Story. So it's about like Buzz and Star Command fighting Zurg and such.
Oh, cool.
And they then made a game out of that cartoon, and it's this. It's kind of like it's like a Crash Bandicoot type of thing, where it's like platforming levels where you just run down like a corridor type of thing, except with more like weird space guns and Patrick Warburton, because that's more games need that. I mean, honestly. So yeah, this is the NG plus all bosses category, which basically means we're on a completed file, and instead of having to do any of the side stuff like beating the time trials for the levels, collecting all of the aliens or whatever, we can just do the main objectives in every level and not have to worry about repeating ourselves. It's the shortest category there is, and that's why I like it, because I'm a busy girl, dang it.
Well, whenever you want to count down the timer, I will
Alright.
start it up for you.
Alright, I guess let's just get into it. We'll be going in 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right.
All right, so this is the first level, Joad 1, where we are chasing down. Basically, the way this game works is every level has a villain who we have to chase down to their getaway spot and then have a little bit of a shootout with them and arrest them. So this is just some random generic thug who I think was like a background character from the show who never actually got named. But they're what we decided to start the game off with because of course we did. And right there you see I'm collecting those like little silver things. Those are Galactic Alliance credits, or GACs. That is not just a silly acronym for the speedrun, that is actually what the game calls them. A silver GAC counts as 5, a gold counts as 10, and a red counts as 1. And you need to be collecting GACs to buy vehicles and weapon upgrades and such. And basically we need to manage the amount of GACs that we pick up almost down to a science. You never want to end a level with more than a GAC count in the double digits. You want to keep it as low as possible because at the end of the level, because there's like a bonus medal that you can get for collecting a certain amount of GACs in the level, and it counts up the amount that you collected. So if you collect too many, then it wastes time counting them up, and blah, blah, blah. So basically, we've got 40 here, and that is like, we once we get that many, after we've picked up the second hoverboard, we don't need to collect any more. And already we're going into the boss fight for this level. Because we beat the boss to the end of the level, our friend Mira shows up and is able to ambush the boss, so the boss starts with less health and shields. Every boss has a certain amount of shields, which can only be broken by a specific weapon before you can actually damage their health. So here I'm damaging this guy with the lightning gun for the purple shields. Then we collect the Gatling gun, which we can use to damage the green shield. And then because of the DPS from that, we're just going to finish him off, and that's the first level done.
Nice. Very
So
well
basically,
done.
every level from that point on is going to follow that basic format, I suppose. And there you see we had no GACs, so it didn't count up anything. And now we go into the second level, Flamar, where we start actually seeing villains from the show. This is Gravatina and all of the 7 polygons in her head. Yeah, that's like the first thing a lot of people notice about this game is that the models and the facial textures and such are they're interesting. They are certainly textures in a video game. I've gone a little bit too far with there. Did not quite time the boost correctly. And this is one of the only levels with a major like glitch in it. Basically, what we're gonna do is if we land in a pool of lava that's right by the spawn for the boss fight, we'll be able to maintain movement during the boss cutscene and damage the boss early. So what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna need to manage my fuel. You see all the vehicles have fuel, like the hoverboard here. I want to be able to get to the level as quick as possible, but also not quick enough that I still have the hoverboard by the end of it. I want to run out of fuel just before we get to the boss fight. So there are some parts where I have to take a slightly longer route just to make sure that the hoverboard will actually run out of fuel in time. Like here you see, I could just cut straight across by like jumping into the lava, but instead I'm going to take a slightly longer route along here. Ignore the alien because those have to count up as well, so we don't want to pick any of those up. And please run out of fuel in time. And yes, that was almost perfect. And have I got the glitch? Yes!
Woohoo!
And now we can't kill the boss during the cutscene because that makes the game crash, but instead we can kill the boss immediately afterwards. Quickest boss fight in the world.
Nice.
So there we get a little FMV from the episode of the show she was in. 5 GACs picked up. That's the kind of GAC counts you want to see, where it just counts up to like nothing. And now we're on to Canis Lunis 1, where we have to chase down an energy vampire named Nos 4A2. Because this is very much in the Saturday morning cartoon mold of quality writing. This level is permanently on a hoverboard for some reason until the very end. I guess they just figured they had to make an energy vampire go just that darn quick, so to keep up with them, we had to be on a hoverboard the whole time.
I mean, it makes sense.
Makes sense to me. That's the defining trait of vampires, is they're speedy, nippy little boys, aren't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, for this level, we need to collect 3 levels of an ice weapon, which costs 15 GACs per upgrade. So we need 50 GACs, which is because the only like GACs that spawn in this level without having to waste time by killing enemies are 10 GAC pickups. So we pick up 5 of those, and then we don't need any more GACs for the rest of the level. I'm going to deliberately avoid some GACs because there are GACs later in the level that are harder to avoid, and I don't want to end up with having too many gacs. Because I took one that I could have avoided and then accidentally picked up one that I couldn't avoid.
So mostly that's just like it wastes a little bit of time if you pick up
Yeah.
more than you need. Okay, I see.
Waste a little bit of time with the results screen counting up the amount you got.
Okay. So I guess like you're saying this is sort of similar to Crash Bandicoot in the same way that like it would count the boxes at the end of the level.
I never thought of it like that, but now that you mention it, yeah, that's kind of an analog. I was mostly just talking about how in all these levels you're just moving forward.
Okay.
So yeah, that's our 50 gacs. We don't need to pick up any more. We might pick up some more by accident because the bosses, sometimes you got to get pretty up in the boss's grill, and they tend to drop gacs like it's candy on Halloween. You might notice these occasional bits of slowdown. That's kind of just the game. I don't know how to fix that. I've been consistently, like, losing 1 or 2 seconds on all of my splits when I try to do runs lately because of slowdowns with the game. I don't know what's causing it, and I don't really know how to fix it at the moment, so that's just something we're going to have to deal with. See? Just did it there. Anyway, we've got the 3 levels of the thing, and we're also going to pick up the Gatling gun to take out Nosferatu's first green shield. And Nosferatu, his boss fight has a gimmick that no other boss in the game has, where once you strip his shields, he will be unkillable until you take out 4 turrets on on all corners of the boss arena. I don't know why he has this gimmick and nobody else does. You see just there I picked up like 30 gacs because he just dropped a bunch of them willy-nilly. And I don't know why I took this route. It's one of the slower routes, but onward and upward. There's Nosferatu over there. Get out of my way, you silly boy. And I'm going to take out the final turret. And his health is slowly going to go down. And he goes, no! And he falls over. And then he explodes, because that's apparently what you do when you fall over after you've been beaten up by a space cop.
Just vampire stuff, I guess.
Just vampires, just energy vampire stuff. That's normally the first indicator of whether or not you're on a good run. If I can get through Canis Lunis 1 under 7 minutes, and ideally under 6 minutes 50, then that's how you know that the run is on decent pace. And of course, now that I've said that, I'm going to watch the VOD back and find out that I was at like 7 minutes 20 when I came out of that level.
No, you weren't.
Okay. I was about to say don't tell me, because I like the surprise in marathon runs, but that's fine.
I'll say no more.
Thank you. Anyway, this is Khan, which is like a kind of jungle dinosaur type of level, which is, when we get to it later, it'll be the first appearance of the rocket launcher. We had a mine launcher earlier, which is not as good because it has an arc and it's kind of bouncy, but the rocket launcher is a lot more direct. It's my favorite weapon in the game because oh Jesus, a little bit of slowdown there caused me to drop the jump input, which means I fell into the water. And falling into the water is bad because Buzz has, you know in video game water levels where like the person goes into the water and suddenly they weigh like three times as much.
Oh,
Buzz is like that to the nth degree. He slows to a crawl the moment he touches a little bit of water.
It's all that armor he's wearing, that space cop armor.
Yeah, it's that giant Star Command issue spacesuit. It's a little too heavy. I'm gonna jump around here, get onto the island. Hopefully we don't fall in the water again here. We seem to be doing fine. Yep. Made it through unsoggied. Which is a word I've just made up now. I've never used that word before in my life, and I probably never will again.
Well, you heard it here first, everyone.
By the way, I forgot to mention this last level, but there are bombs now. Basically, from Canis Lunis 1 onwards, from every other level in the game, there will be bombs throughout the stage that Zurg has apparently planted, the evil Emperor Zurg. And the enemies will arm the bombs as they pass them, and when a bomb is armed, Buzz has a minute to destroy the bomb, or else the level automatically ends and you have to try again.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so thankfully most of the bombs are weak as hell. They take 2 hits from the standard blaster and 1 hit from basically everything else.
Are they randomly generated, or...?
Oh no, they're in the same spot every time.
Every time. Okay, that's good.
In fact, the constant positioning of a bomb is going to be an important factor in a late game level, but I will explain that when we get there. Here's Mira gonna zap this dude in the face. I don't remember what episode this guy was from. This is the only villain that I don't really remember. His name is Marl, apparently.
I kind of want to watch the show now.
Oh, it's a good show. Most of the episodes are on YouTube as well. That was a lot cleaner of a fight than I normally get with this guy.
Oh, well done.
But yeah, if you want to like watch the episodes, go watch them on YouTube. That's pretty much the only way you can watch them because it's like never been released. Like the pilot episode got released on VHS and DVD, I think.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Can we just talk about this guy's facial expression, by the way?
uh,
That was one heck of a facial texture.
oh, man.
This is the Fixer, who's the most annoying boss in the game, and fun bit of voice actor trivia, is voiced by Ed Asner, veteran actor who you might also recognize as Carl Fredricksen from the movie Up, which makes him, I believe, one of the only actors to have played both a Disney hero and a Disney villain. I'm probably completely wrong on that, but yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna trust your facts there. That's pretty cool.
Although another bit of fun trivia, one of the only other people to have done it is also because of this game, is Brad Garrett, who is a voice actor. He plays Torque, who is the boss of the next level. And he is the voice actor for Chef Gusteau in Ratatouille.
Oh, wow. I think you mentioned to me, too, that, like, the composer for this game is a pretty famous individual.
Keith Leary. Well, famous isn't the word I would really use. He's just a bit more prestigious. He doesn't compose that much these days. He's more like an arrangement dude at Sony. He worked on, like, he's done music. Oh God, got stuck on some scenery. He's done arrangement work for Bloodborne, for God of War, The Order 1886. He did some engineering stuff for Journey, which means he was part of the team that won a BAFTA for that. That game won a BAFTA for like Best Audio. And yeah, he started out doing this game, and he also did a few other licensed games that come to mind. He did Muppet Race Mania, Stuart Little 2, both on the PlayStation. He did the Cat in the Hat game on the PS2 and the Xbox, which some of you might remember. It was a Klonoa ripoff of all things. I don't know who looked at the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat movie and decided we need to make a Klonoa game out of this, but that's what they did. And while we're on his topic, I'm just gonna like be quiet till the end of the level and let you absorb this music. Because it's a bop, honestly.
It is a bop.
Okay, and here we're coming up to the boss. So this is the run killer moment right here. The pattern this boss gives you determines whether or not it's a run. If he gives you the good pattern, you're good. If it's the bad pattern, you lose like 25 seconds just because the game decided that you lose 25 seconds.
Wow, that's harsh, actually.
So I'm going to move as little as possible and hope that he cooperates. He cooperated, thank God.
Yay.
Okay, and he decided to stop cooperating. Basically, he can either go up or down, or he can just, like, stay on the ground forever. That was mostly cooperative, but on, like, really bad runs, I have had him just be going up and down, and you can never hit him, and oh god, it's... ugh. So yeah, that was actually one of the cleaner fixes I have had in my time speedrunning this game. Now we go on to Joad 2, which is the previously mentioned fight with Torque. And Torque is also one of the more annoying bosses in the game because he has like 3 shields, which is more than any other boss in the game, including the final boss. I don't know why he has that many, but he do. This level's kind of annoying in general. I've been poking around with it lately because basically I realized that the strat I was doing up until today was actually really slow and bad and silly, and I don't know why I was doing it, so I've stopped doing it and I've started doing something else. And basically, by doing something else, basically just means going back to the intended way. I was trying to be clever by finding, like, workarounds and stuff, but now we're just going to do it the way the game wants us to do it, which is pretty much... That's how most of this game is. You just do it, oh god, I missed 10 gacs there, or did I? I'm not entirely sure. I didn't hear the pickup sound, but I'm pretty sure I picked it up. I'm confused. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass in about 10 seconds. Okay, actually, things seem to be fine. Yeah, money count is on point. Just pick up
Good,
these two
good.
here, collect the rocket launcher. We've not bumped into any trees, which is good. Then we just slide down here on this jet bike. We don't need to bother destroying that bomb because Torque won't be able to arm it before we get to the end of the level. I'll just please run out of fuel. Yes, ran out of fuel in time. And then we pick up these two in that specific order because that means we don't have to faff about switching weapons to get through as many shields. We have to do some faffing around because the rocket launcher is in the middle of our weapon wheel, so hopefully it's not too messy.
And are you playing this with mouse and keyboard, or you have a controller?
Oh no, I'm using a controller. I'm using DualShock 4 because for some reason, game from 2000 works out of the box with DualShock 4. I don't know why. Some of the controls are a bit weird, like it's square to jump and X to fire, which feels backwards from which is backwards from the PS1 version. And for
Okay.
some reason, strafe is mapped to L1 and triangle, and L1 is right strafe. Don't ask me how that works.
That's
Anyway.
very interesting. Yeah.
Now, we just did the most complicated tech in all of speedrunning, which is not moving and just waiting and letting the boss get a head start. Because if we go right off the bat and try to kill this enemy, then when we go to pick up its Gax, the path that this boss, Skriel, takes will mean that he stands on the Gak and basically prevents you from picking it up, and it's really fidgety and ugh. So we just let him get a little bit of a head start so we can have a smoother path. If we don't take that, like, time loss from waiting, then we basically have to take the time loss from waiting for him to move his fat butt off of the Gak. So yeah, this is Khan 2. You might you probably picked up with Joad 2, but like the levels have started to repeat. Like you basically get, aside from I think 2 or 3 planets, every level has 2 levels. I think Ice World, Bathios, and debatably, depending on how you define things, Planet Z are the only levels that you don't fight on twice. Pretty much every level has both a 1 and a 2 variant.
Do you have like a favorite?
My favorite level is probably... That's a good question. Flame R2 is probably my favorite one, just because I guess I've kind of just gotten used to it a bunch, because that's like the one time trial I've grinded a bunch, because there's this other guy in the community, Peter Afro, who has every IL record for this game, and every time I try to take one back from him, I can like grind for ages to try and get one, and then I leave it like 2 days and he's gotten it back. And he so yeah, he doesn't run full game categories, but I have acquiesced the IL board to him. He's a stronger person than I.
I think the ILs can be pretty mentally draining, so
Oh
I
yeah,
understand that.
like the difference between my PB on Flame R1 and his world record is about 0.05 seconds. That's how little time there is in it. By the way, you see I've been collecting like 60 Gaks for the whole level but not buying anything? That's because we need this 60 Gak Gatling gun, because it helps strip Skriel's green shield a little bit easier. I mean, it gives you a Gatling gun for beating him to the boss arena anyway, but when you collect multiples of the same gun, it upgrades them. So like when you collect 2 Gatling guns, it upgrades the fire rate and the range and the maximum ammo.
I got this one, Buzz.
I'm just gonna let you appreciate this audio.
I softened him up for you, Buzz.
Thanks, Mira.
Always willing to lend a helping hand.
No! 10 out of 10 audio. What I can only assume happened there is some poor fool managed to get his death sound mixed up with his hurt sound, because when he dies, he just goes like, ah!
That's
But
so
on it,
good.
and it's when he just takes any damage that he lets out the overdramatic no. So that someone has to have mixed that up. By the way, this level has ice physics, so I hate it.
Probably
Thankfully,
slippery.
we get a shield that basically turns off the ice physics, but until we get it, it's okay. I'm about to get it here. Okay, first part of the level went perfectly. I once had to spend like a whole day just playing that section of the level until I basically had it down to a science. Killing that dude for some gax. Getting some gax off of this dude. We need to collect 105 gax very fast so that we can take a series of very expensive bounce pads that are coming up about halfway through the level. We've got 82 at the moment. And once we take out this dude, that should put us on 107, which is almost perfect. So we ignore that tank enemy. Get a nice high trick shot on that bomb. And we're good. See, this one costs 30, and we're about to collect the only LGM of the run, or at least the only one that's mandatory. There's one that we're probably going to collect in a later stage, but we can avoid it. So yeah, now that we've spent those 100 gax, we only need 15 of those, like, little flying wasp enemies that are coming up in a bit, because they drop 2 gax each. So if I take out 2 of those, then we're basically perfect. I should have just picked up a 5 gack earlier. Oh dear. Okay, we're at 15. Perfect. Those bees those wasp enemies can usually give you a little bit of trouble, but it's fine.
Robo wasps on the ice level.
You thought you were safe from wasps in winter? Guess again, bucko. So yeah, then we pick up that shield, and now we go into the boss fight. This is the plasma monster, by the way, who is another boss with just... Mwah! Look at that model. Look at that facial texture. Look at that everything.
The models are honestly really amazing in this game.
Yeah. This is Y2K gaming at its finest. Honestly, though, like, I'm ragging on this game a bunch, but this game actually is a lot of fun. It was one of the first games I ever played, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. The music's nice. It's very, like, I guess, faithful to the source material. Most of the voice actors from the show came back, including Patrick Warburton as Buzz Lightyear.
That's really cool.
And it's just a nice, decent budget license game. I really like it.
I kind of wish they had put Mira, like, in Toy Story now. I really like her.
Yeah, apparently, if you listen to the rumors, they were basically forbidden from including any element of my thumb slipped off the stick. They were basically forbidden from including any element of this show in the Toy Story canon because John Lasseter absolutely despised the show for one reason or another.
Oh.
But he's a creep and he's gone, so who cares what he thinks? That's my philosophy at any rate.
Oh, good riddance.
Hell yeah.
So it actually looks like Buzz's suit kind of changed a bit for this one as well.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is an underwater level, so he's got like a whole new scuba suit. This is in like 2 episodes of the show, so I guess they just kind of had to put it in.
Mm-hmm.
This level also, it's a pretty chilled out level, and it has probably my favorite song in the game. I don't know why they went with like a sort of Indian Hindi type of motif for a water level, but I'm glad they did because this bops TBH. It's a pretty chilled out level. You kind of just swim forward and own everything. We have a homing plasma gun, which is probably the second best weapon in the game aside from the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher beats it in terms of raw DPS, but if you're just going along, you can just hold down X and nay on everything, basically.
Oh, nice. It's nice to have like levels like this mixed in too, like
yeah,
so
nice to have some variety.
Exactly.
So here's Blackfin, and pay attention to the end of this cutscene. You can see Buzz's facial texture mirrored on the inside of the suit. Ugh. See there, you got a little bit of a spook. That inside low res ass texture. Come on, cooperate with me here, Blackfin. You're a tricky fish. Okay, he came out fine in the end. That was again, I'm getting some clean boss fights. This feels like a good run, though. I don't know if I'm just saying that because I can't see the timer, but this feels good. Again, don't tell me what time I'm on. I like the suspense.
I will not.
Thank you. Anyway, this is Flame R2, one of my least favorite levels, which is annoying because it has one of my favorite characters, Warp Dark Matter. In the, I guess, canon of the show, Warp was basically Buzz's old partner at Star Command, who it later turned out was a double agent working for Zurg. And in the pilot episode of the show, Warp basically fakes his death during a raid on Planet Z, and then the reveal that Zerg's mysterious Agent Z is actually Warp is like a bit of a plot twist.
This is like Saturday morning soap opera cartoon.
Basically, yeah. There's some interesting like lore going on here. It's a show that has a lot going on under the surface, but also doesn't take itself very seriously. There's this one joke in an episode of the show where a bunch of politicians are getting mysteriously kidnapped, and Buzz is like, oh, Zerg is up to another one of his schemes. So he, like, basically phones Zerg and is like, I know what you're up to. You're kidnapping the politicians again. Or if it isn't you, then it's one of your cronies. And Zerg's like, all right, well, why don't we ask them? And then the camera pans out to reveal he's in, like, a board meeting with every villain on the show. And he's like,
God.
all right. He's like, all right, who here's kidnapping some politicians? Come on, speak up. And they're all like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
That's the tone we're dealing with here. Zerg in this show is honestly like one of my favorite villains in anything. Wayne Knight, of all people, fucking Newman from Seinfeld, does like a great job. He puts on this like British accent and they put like a ton of reverb on him, and he actually sounds really menacing. It's great.
I honestly have to look this up. I have to hear that.
Yeah, it's like I say, the episodes are on YouTube. Just check them out. Try it and be surprised. We're almost at the end of this level, by the way. I spent the whole level just talking about the TV show. This bit right here, I have to pick up 2 weapons and they're very easy to miss. Please give me both of them. Damn it. Okay, I got the important one, at
I got
least.
this one, Buzz.
But this is going to be slightly slower just because I don't have the 2nd level Gatling gun.
I softened him up
Warp's
for you, Buzz.
hitbox is slightly weird, so that like unless you get him like locked down pretty much, it's very easy for him to slip out because of how weird his hitboxes are. But thankfully he seems to be cooperating here. He just kind of runs at you. Oh no, get back here. There we go. That's him taken care of.
Nice.
And we're actually getting kind of near the end of the game. There are 4 levels left. Well, there's 3 levels and then a final boss. We're going to have Trade World 2 up next, which is probably one of the longer levels, where we, for some more lore for you, we're facing up against XL, who is basically a prototype version of Buzz's robot companion XR, who is mad that Star Command like discontinued research into him, and now he's fed up and is basically just taking it out on Buzz.
Yeah, like these character backgrounds are really impressive.
Yeah. None of this is communicated through the game unless you watch the FMVs. This is just stuff that I know because I watched too much of this show as a child, and then a while back I went binging through the YouTube uploads of the episodes because it was just that kind of a week. Thank you.
I think it's cool because then, you know, not only do you get to explain a little bit of the lore, but you have both perspectives from the glitch point of view and everything like that.
Yeah, like I can I can tell you that like most of this is actually decently faithful to the show. This level is kind of complicated in terms of GAC management. The numbers of GACs that you have go kind of up and down. It's a level kind of like the Ice World, where you pick up a lot of GACs very early on, and then once you've used them, you only need a few more to get to the end of the level.
Okay.
So we're going to pick up a booster bike here, and we're not going to boost all the way. It's similar to what we did in Flame R1, where once like these enemies up here spawn, that's when you floor it. That's the trigger to be able to floor it without wasting your fuel too early and having to walk the rest of the way. But at the same time, it runs out as soon as we get to there, so we don't have to take like a wide turning circle to be able to get to this hoverboard. We take a shortcut back here, and we pick up this ice gun, which basically completely nullifies the boss. The boss has this gimmick where you're supposed to like bump into turrets to turn them to your side and make them shoot the boss. But he's weak to the ice gun, so if you pick up the ice gun in the stage, then he kind of just is dead in about 5 seconds. Oh, bumped into that guy. By the way, that dude we just bumped into, that was the boss of level 1. Ever since Trade World 1, he has been like just a regular enemy.
Oh, so that's kind of like Dark Souls-ish a bit.
Kinda, yeah. Like that's the Capra demon, basically.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say that's the Capra demon.
That's the Capra demon just with a jetpack and a laser.
There you go.
Can you imagine if you were playing a Dark Souls game and then one boss just had a jetpack and a laser? How terrifying would that be? I would just give up. Anyway, we're coming up to the end of the stage. I don't think I've gotten it, but you can tell if you've gotten a really good Trade World 2 by whether or not you're able to beat the level before the music fully loops. Like if you hear the music start again, then you've not quite gotten a fully like optimal Trade World 2, but it turns out I've done it.
Alrighty.
So that was actually a really good performance for the stage.
Yay.
So yeah, this is XL. Here's the boss fight. You're supposed to bump into these turrets to turn them, like I said, to turn them to your side and make them shoot him. But instead, you can kind of just get dunked on. Now up next we have Canis Lunis 2, which, if you've played this game, is pretty much casually the hardest level in the run. You get locked in a series of rooms and you have to like beat all the enemies before the bomb times out. But we are not going to do any of that, thanks to a little something that we in the community call trans rights are human rights skip, because there's no rule saying that we can't or shouldn't call it that. So basically, we're going to take out this dude, just so he doesn't get in our way. We might pick up this alien, I don't know. And we do a ledge grab here, and we clip through the wall, and that's it. We've just broken the level.
Oh, nice.
Now we don't have to do any of the waves of enemies. The boss gets stuck there because the game tries to like stagger him because of how fast he is. But he's just frozen there now, and we can just walk through the rest of the level at our own leisurely pace. But we're not going to do that, of course. We're still going to go as fast as possible.
So you don't have to fight him at all then to exit this world?
Oh no, we still have to fight him, no matter where you...
Okay.
No matter... If when you get to the end of the stage, the boss just like
He's
immediately
there.
warps there for the fight. Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
And the game just treats it as like, oh, you just beat him. He's actually one of the trickier bosses because he has a lot of enemies around him and he's a little bit slippery. And actually, I was wrong earlier when I was talking about Torque being the only enemy with 3 shields. This guy has 3 shields as well. In fact, he has the same ones as Torque, just in a different order. Instead of it being green, yellow, purple, it's purple, yellow, green.
Oh, they gotta change it up a little bit.
Yeah, with the colors basically meaning purple is weak to like the lightning gun, yellow is the plasma gun, green is either the standard blaster or the Gatling gun. Blue, which is like XL is the only boss with a blue shield, is the ice gun. And those are like the only colors of shields that are in the game. Pretty much any other weapon is just for like dealing health damage, basically. Despite the fact that like we don't really need to do much of anything for this level, we're still collecting a lot of gax because there are 2 bounce pads at the ends, both of which cost 60 gax to use. So I've collected enough gax for one of them, because getting any more than that would require us going out of our way, and at that point, the juice just, pardon me, the juice just ain't worth the squeeze. So we're gonna take this bounce pad, whee,
Go, Buzz,
and then
go.
we're just gonna go ahead to the end of the level. Please tell me I don't miss that. Okay, thank God. I have never missed that gun, but I'm always paranoid that I'm going to, because missing that is a big deal.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's the boss. Little robot werewolf dude. Take out the one shield. Take out the other. He's slippery. He's kind of on ice physics, kinda. And he's taken care of.
I love how Mira does like one thing and she says,
Yeah.
"I'll soften him up for you."
She's like, I've done my job.
No effort. She's just boss like that.
Here's Planet Z, which is one of the harder levels in terms of the speedrun, because there's a trick that basically requires you to be on a pretty good pace, otherwise going for it will automatically end the run, if that makes sense. Talking of Mirror, by the way, the other 2 members of Buzz's team, Booster and XR, you do not see them in this run. XR is only seen in like side missions where basically every level has a mission where you have to collect bits of XR, because XR's thing is like he's a robot and he keeps like falling apart or getting blown apart and you have to put him back together. So you have to like collect all his parts and then take him to XR. And Booster is only seen where you can pick him up as an item, and he basically just will kill every enemy on screen. But you have to watch like a 6 or 7 second cutscene where he like does a cannonball down from the screen, from the top of the screen. So it's too slow. And even on a casual level, you don't want to be doing it because the boss can move during that cutscene. So sometimes going for a booster can be the difference between winning and losing the level on a casual level. So yeah, basically this is Planet Z. It's the return of our good friend, the homing plasma gun, which when upgraded fires like multiple projectiles, taking a bit of heavy damage going through here, but the health is still looking fine. I have had runs going through this level where my health has been really spooky coming out of this section, and it's actually been like danger of dying, but that doesn't seem to be the situation we're in. We're pretty healthy. We're in tip-top space cop condition. So yeah. And coming up here in a little bit is gonna be that trick that I mentioned, the one that if you're not on a good enough pace can like end the run, but we're on a good enough pace for it at the moment. We haven't had really that many mistakes, if any at all. So
Yeah, I
basically
think this has been solid.
Yeah, so basically what we're going to do here is first we're going to take this bounce pad, and then we're going to take a teleporter down here. But the important thing is we're going to skip over destroying a bomb by doing this. And now, if we don't get to the end of the level as fast as possible, Zerg will activate that bomb. And if Zerg activates that bomb, and if a bomb is active, then you can't go into a boss fight. So basically, basically, if Zerg activates this bomb, I have to restart the level. I can do this pretty consistently, and it's like a 15-second time save if you get it. But if you don't get it, then the run is over. And this is like one of the last points where the run can die, so... Please... Thank God.
Oh, good.
When I ran this game at ESA, I didn't end up going for that. I wasn't as confident, so I'm glad I managed to get it in like a big marathon setting.
Always willing to lend
So
a
anyway,
helping
this is
hand.
Zerg. This is not the final boss, despite it being the evil Emperor Zerg. We have a second fight with him just after this.
Ah, okay. Phase 2.
Curse you, Buzz Lightyear! So yeah, that was... So, oh, forgot to mouse off the save. Almost went into the save menu. That would have been a silly time loss. Anyway, here's Zerg's throne room. This is the final boss. It's a 2-phase fight. There's a quick kill that I can go for here. It's incredibly rare to get it, and you don't lose any time by... And you don't really lose any time if you go for it and mess it up. Like, you just have to, like, it's like, oh, well, you didn't get it, do the fight normally. And, oh dear, this isn't good at all. Basically, one of the enemies didn't spawn, which means my GAC route for the stage has been completely thrown off.
Uh-oh.
This is really not good. I've never actually... This has only ever happened during practice. I've never had this happen during a run. But yeah, we're in for a bit of a first here. I'm kind of thinking on the fly at the moment.
It's okay.
Or actually, we might be fine. I'm not entirely sure. We can pick up this. Okay, yeah, we're definitely... Okay, we at least got, like, some extra damage. If you hit Zerg, like, right as he's at the start of his descending animation, then... Okay, yeah, we're 5 gacs short. This is not good. I can probably work with it. It's just going to lose me a bit of time going into the second phase. Pick up the 3rd level of the rocket launcher. Oh, come on. Okay, and now he goes down, which starts the second phase. We have to pause and unpause to make the music come back. I don't know why that's a glitch this phase of the fight has. But yeah, basically, oh no. No. It's all gone terribly wrong. Okay, actually, we seem to be doing fine. If I just pick up these 2 gacs and then go and get the plasma gun, because Zerg has an orange shield, which means he has to be damaged by the plasma gun. And then I don't know where he is. Okay, he's over there, and now the rest of the fight should be going more or less as normal. We stop here for some health, do some damage to the boss. Zerg, when I said that the Planet Z bomb skip was like the last major part where the run can die, I lied. This is.
Oh, man.
Zerg can give you just a really bad pattern if he wants to, which is kind of what he's doing at the moment. And I'm just going to wait over here, and that ended up not being the correct move. Pick up some health. We're taking a disconcerting amount of damage. Oh, geez. I was hoping that... the bit of chip damage there from the rocket launcher would be enough to take out his shield. Okay. This hasn't been the best Zerg, but whatever. Marathon luck, it's fine.
Adaptive strats, you can do it.
Yep. And time. And he goes down the hole. I've never had that happen in a run. So yeah, that's the end of the game. I was really worried I was going to die for a second there, but that was mostly fine. And now we get to watch this like unrelated to anything that's happened in the game FMV of like a Zerg missile being about to destroy Star Command. And we'll just take a second to indulge in this before we get into anything else. Because this is like the only cutscene we get to watch in the run. This is Commander Nebula, who's kind of like, I guess, the chief of police, I suppose, the chief of space police. And here's Buzz, and he's going to save the day by yanking the missile away from Star Command and riding it out into the cosmos. What a trooper. Congratulations. And now for your credits, you get to watch every enemy in the game doing a little parade around the final boss arena.
Cute.
So,
do you want to know the final time or not?
I want to know the final time.
It was 40 minutes exactly.
Oh shit! That's like, so pardon my French. That's actually really good for a marathon. That's like 15 seconds off my PB or so. I think my record is a 39:42 or so.
Oh wow!
So Jesus, for a marathon, that's astoundingly good.
I mean, I don't think he really ran into hardly any problems except, you know, the final boss was kind of just being a troll.
Yeah, the final boss was kind of annoying. I had the problem with the bees in the ice world. I had oh geez, what else was there that might have gone noticeably wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
Wow.
it was a really great run to watch. Thank you so much for running this for everybody.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
For sure. Did you want to give any shout-outs or anything like that?
Shout-outs, I guess, to my friend Andrea Cyberdemon. She's the one who, like, it was her, like, she was the one who, like, basically helped me get into running this game, and she was the one who found the initial, I guess, she found trans rights a human rights skip from Canis Lunis 2, so that was cool. Shout-outs to Keith Leary, the composer for this game, legend. And yeah, I guess shoutouts to the whole sort of adjacent Buzz Lightyear speedrunning community, Strudel, Peter Afro, Adam Speedruns, all of them ones. Yeah, it's been lovely being here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so very much. And honestly, everybody, that is going to do it for our episode of Treefort today. I hope that you had an amazing time here with us watching all of these runs for Club Disney. But before we go, I'd like to just kind of let everybody know that we do have some other events coming up next week or this week. Sly Cooper Community Spotlight is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. The Kusa Grand Invitational Finals are this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Randomizer Week starts this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we are going to have randomizer races and runs for the entire week. So I hope you guys will check that out. And the Luigi's Mansion anniversary is this coming Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So it might be hard for you guys to remember, but just keep an eye on the Games Done Quick Twitter and here on Twitch, and you'll be able to catch all of those live. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again to all of our wonderful subscribers for making this hotfix content possible. I'm SmoothOperative signing off, and thank you again so much, Steb, for the Buzz Lightyear run.
No problem at all. Thank you very much for having me.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.